corruption and irregular appointment. But the irregular appointment is not a charge per se. It's more an explanation of the actual fraud and corruption.
So my question remains, who made a complaint of fraud and corruption? Who came to IDEC and said there is a complaint of fraud and corruption that I would like to make and for IDEC to investigate?
When we look at the referral, sir, Section 27 referral, where it talks about the appointment of a civilian lady, I think that's where it comes in, the irregular appointment.
So IDEC made an inference. It did not come from a complainant. The complainant did not say, I believe that there's a case of fraud and corruption that IDEC should investigate. I'm just trying to understand IDEC's thinking. Not so much the merits of the case, but IDEC's thinking and how it got to where it arrived at.
What I can gather from what is written on the preambles is coming from the A1 statement.
Yes. Let's leave it. Let's go to the affidavit on page 683. This is Mr. Adams's affidavit on the same day, the 6th of January 2025. Are you able to put it up, Ms. Mutlasedi? Same bundle on 683. I think you've seen the document before. Paragraphs 2 and 3. So paragraph 1, Mr. Adams describes himself, Fediel Adams MP. And then in paragraph 2, he says, on or about early October 2024, I received information anonymously surrounding alleged fraud and corruption being perpetrated within crime intelligence. The allegations related to certain high-ranking police officials being involved in manipulating promotional and security vetting processes to unduly benefit a civilian person who worked for BMW South Africa being appointed as a brigadier in South Africa. She apparently has no policing experience and no management experience and was appointed as head of the technical support services. Do you see that?
I see that, Commissioner.
So is that where you say the complaint of fraud and corruption comes from?
Yes, sir. That's what I would take from here, that it's an irregular, a person was appointed irregularly to a post.
And what is the fraud and corruption, if I may ask?
Your fraud and your corruption is the unlawful and intentional misrepresentation of certain facts and which it prejudices the state. That's your fraud.
Okay. In this particular case?
In this particular matter.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What I'm struggling with is it's just not clear to me whether somebody is saying a fraudulent CV was submitted or somebody who did not comply with the requirements in the advert was appointed. I'm just not clear what fraud and corruption is here. That's where I can see that somebody from outside was appointed and has no management experience. Yes. Is that the fraud, or is it something else that is not in this affidavit? What is the fraud and corruption, other than appointing somebody who is from outside and has no policing experience?
So I don't know whether I'll be looking at fraud is fraud. From the affidavit being taken and deriving from person taking the affidavit, allegations related to officials involved in manipulating promotional and vetting processes to unduly benefit somebody. So manipulation the mere, what I grasp out of this, in order to get to this here, something had to be done and misrepresented. You know, that's the way I would see it. I know where Commissioner is going with it, but this has to deal, when you look at it, promotion, manipulation of promotions, how was it manipulated? What was done? Vetting processes, what was done? This person had no policing experience, what was done to cover up? So these are the things I'm taking in to derive where fraud comes in and where corruption comes in. Obviously, from the basis of this affidavit, I will take that now and go and look for further evidence, whether it comes from an analysis or documents or interviewing with persons to fully understand. But when I look at it, something had to be done. Something had to be manipulated. Manipulated, it borders on misrepresentation of something for somebody to believe such. And when you look at the post itself and what is mentioned, I mean, that is the way I look at it, sir. But the person that's taking the affidavit, I can't speak for him.
I think I'm going to leave it here for now. So at some point, we'll get to the adverts and the CVs and other things. I just needed to understand the two documents and what the complaint was.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Sorry, Colonel. You cannot use, because in response to the question by Commissioner Khumalo, you referred to an earlier part, the part that refers to these high-ranking police officials, open code, being involved in manipulating promotional and security vetting processes to unduly benefit a civilian person. That does not say much. Like if you say manipulating promotional and security vetting processes, that is a conclusion which must necessarily be based on facts.
Yes,
what are the facts? There are none. And then you say to unduly benefit a civilian person. Well, I know you'll say the person benefited is the person who worked for BMW, and that the benefit is the appointment.
yes, sir.
But what comes first is the manipulation. What are the facts for saying that there was manipulation? I know it's not you saying this,
Yes.
but you, as part of IDEC, are investigating this. And it goes back to what I said earlier, which is you only start investigating if this is a referral, if there is a basis for a reasonable suspicion.
Yes, sir.
So if all you have are conclusions manipulating promotional and security vetting processes, what is the manipulation? What form did it take? There's none of that, not on this. And it's on that basis that I say you have not answered Commissioner Khumalo's question.
Thank you,
because
Chair.
in attempting to answer it, you refer to this, and this is lacking on facts. There's no factual basis.
Thank you, Chair. I'll try to explain it in the best I can. This affidavit, this Section 27 comes in, it's referred, and then a preliminary investigation starts. At all given time, this is still an allegation. So when the preliminary investigation starts, you only have this to go on, which, as Commissioner Khumalo says, but look, there's nothing really much here, manipulation.
What I say is, absent a reasonable factual basis, you should not even begin, because that's the basis for the Section 27 referral. You do not even begin. I think when I engaged you earlier, I said, you do not start, if the Section 27 jurisdictional facts are not satisfied, you cannot say, let us commence with an investigation. Who knows, maybe we'll come across something that will show that an offense covered by Section 7(1) capital A has in fact been committed. That's not how it works. You must first establish whether there are, or rather the jurisdictional facts do exist. If they don't, you do not even begin to investigate. That is where Commissioner Khumalo's question lies.
Commissioner, I'm trying to answer it in the best way I know.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to deviate from something.
Yes.
This is how I see it, and what is given to me in the statement on the preliminary investigation, to say, go and look, there's an allegation here that's been made, and where further investigation was conducted in terms of documents and interviewing of witnesses. I hear that there's nothing in here, that this is what is being saying, but there's an allegation made here, a serious allegation being made here, that there is manipulation of processes by high-ranking officers, giving a civilian with no experience and appointing her in a crime intelligence post. So that for me is a flag. Promotion being manipulated, a civilian into a crime intelligence post with no experience. So that for me was the red flag, and I was satisfied. I was satisfied with that.
Colonel, you read when Ms. Sillo asked you to basically set out how the process works.
Yes.
You read a number of sections and you went all the way up to, was it 28?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And as part of that, you even read section 27, which sets out the jurisdictional facts for a referral. And you say this was a referral.
Yes.
Do you know what those jurisdictional facts are in accordance with section 27? Do you or don't you?
According to what is written in 7A, where it says fraud and corruption. So that's
No. I'm talking about the jurisdictional facts in 27 for a referral.
I'm still not catching you.
I'm talking about, okay, let me not talk about jurisdictional facts. Let me say the bases, as in plural, B-A-S-E-S.
Yes.
Do you know the bases upon which a referral may be made in terms of section 27?
The basis on which the section 27, it shows out that crimes were committed that falls within the mandate on 711A.
There's an important one. I engaged you on this in the morning. Let's look at it together. Just go there. The reasonable grounds to suspect. Reasonable grounds to suspect. You remember when I engaged you on that this morning?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's an important one. You cannot leave it out. So my question is, if you know those jurisdictional facts or bases,
Yes, sir.
and surely you do.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you have this manipulating promotional and security vetting processes with no explanation whatsoever, and even if you look at this together with the other statement, which is actually, as part of its heading, refers to section 27 referral, that is Mr. Adams's statement. Even if you look at that, at least insofar as I look at this, I do not see how anybody within IDEC, including you, could have held the view that those jurisdictional facts have been satisfied. On what, as you sit there, on what basis do you say those jurisdictional facts were satisfied?
Commissioner, I'm only going to say that this referral was sent to management, who approved the section 27 referral, and then authorized a section 2813 preliminary investigation. So I take my cue from there. When that preliminary investigation is initiated. So I take it from there.
Besides the view that they might have held, as you sit there,
Yes, sir.
did you yourself satisfy yourself that the jurisdictional facts had been satisfied?
So
Let's leave out what they thought. You referred to the section, you quoted it, and even now as I'm engaging you, you appear to know what that section means. As you sit there now,
yes, sir.
are you telling us that, as at the time, you were satisfied that the jurisdictional facts were satisfied?
So that's why I continued with the investigation. when I was tasked with it, I
Where
continued it.
you say, I do not know whether that answer says yes or no. Were you satisfied that the jurisdictional facts were satisfied, were met?
Chair, Colonel, my apologies, and I do apologize for interjecting. Perhaps before Colonel Padayachee responds, and I say this because I had him reference the Section 27 referral. The document Commissioner Khumalo was considering was the A1 statement.
No, that's why I deliberately said, even if I consider both this, meaning the A1, and the statement which is actually headed Section 27 referral.
Then if
So
the
I'm
Colonel-
including both. It was exactly because I am aware, Mr. Law, that this one was not the referral
No,
itself.
that you are aware, Chair. I have no, it's whether the witness
Yes.
understands where you are.
Which
I wanted
one-
to make, which one you
Which
are
one I'm
speaking
refer?
to.
Which one I'm referring
So
to?
I don't know if, as you pose
Okay,
the question,
all
we
right.
should call up Section 27
I hear you.
referral, and then he doesn't confuse the two statements.
I hear you. He
Then
may
if-
not have. He may have missed my linking.
Indeed,
My
Chair.
linking of the two.
Yes.
Colonel, in referring to the document on which Commissioner Khumalo was engaging you, I also made specific reference to the document headed Section 20, or rather, as part of its heading, refers to Section 27 referral. You heard me make that connection.
Yes, sir.
Or refer to that document as well.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Now, what I'm saying is, as you sit there and bearing in mind, in particular, that document, that second document, the one which as part of its heading refers to the Section 27 referral, as you sit there, are you telling us that as at the time, you were of the view that the jurisdictional facts had been satisfied for a Section 27 referral?
I'm going to say yes, Commissioner,
On what basis?
on the basis of the way I interpreted it.
No. This is about the facts presented.
Yes.
This is about the facts presented for purposes of the referral.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you look at those facts in conjunction with what is provided for in Section 27. But on the facts, what is it that made you satisfied that the jurisdictional facts had been met?
It's what was being said there. A person has been appointed in a technical post without qualifications. It's a civilian. For me, that amounts to fraud and corruption that needed to be looked at, to be verified.
At this stage, I will say that's a quantum leap in logic, but I'm sure Ms. Sillo is still going to come to that. It's a quantum leap in logic, because you know that many people get appointed in SAPS without,
Yes.
they cannot even salute, but they are appointed because of their expertise. I'm not necessarily saying Ms. Mukwele had that expertise, but that's what we've been told. And to just say because no experience within SAPS means nothing, and it's on that basis that I say that's quite some quantum leap in logic. But Ms. Sillo, I assume, will deal with it more extensively when the time comes.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I was intending to chair, perhaps, and this might be the